Michigan, these are two really hot teams right now. A 19-5 Purdue, 18-5 Michigan. Michigan has won 4 in a row, 8 of their last 9. But they're not annihilating teams, Ross. They won 70-67, 80-76, and 66-63. They're playing this Purdue team that can lay the smackdown on teams. They just whooped USC 90-70 and put up 90 plus, Ross, 3 of the last 4 games. The total here is 151.5. Michigan is basically a pick, a -1.5. But if you do plan on betting Michigan, take them on the money line. Ross, help us navigate this game.
Yeah, I mean, this is one where you have to read between the lines from my perspective, with no pun intended. I mean, you mentioned how hot Purdue is, 11-1 in their last 12, including winning their last 4. On top of that, they already faced Michigan at home this year, and they annihilated them 91-64. Yet, the odds makers have this game as a virtual even game, as Prez alluded to. Michigan, like Prez touched upon, 4-0 in their last 4, but all 4 of those wins by 4 points or less. But you know what? They're not going to get rattled in a close game, which I think this one is going to be tonight. They know how to win in those circumstances. They've proven that over that 4-game win streak. And a final note, this is a Michigan team that's a perfect 11-0 at home this season, Prez. I am going to play Michigan on the money line at either -120 or -125, whatever you can get. But again, Prez makes a good point. It's always a good idea when you have point spread this low and you're laying it with the favorite to use the reasonably sized money line price instead of the point spread.
Yeah, guys, if you watch the show on a regular basis, Ralph Michaels, Teddy, and myself did a deep dive into whether it is more effective in the long run to bet a basketball play at -1, -1.5, and -2 versus the money line. It is always a better proposition, roughly 2% better, which is substantial, betting the money line on any basketball game at -2 or less. And this is information you don't get elsewhere. This is information you don't get from the 20-year-old parlay lunatics on Twitter. That's why you log into this show every day, 12, because we give you guys the best long-term and short-term betting information out there. Ross, it is $5 Tuesday today over at WagerTalk. Every handicapper takes their best play, makes it $5 for our customers. What do you have going for the clients tonight?
$5 winning total, Michigan State and Indiana. And my totals are on a real hot run right now, folks. 60% over the last 2 years with college basketball totals. You can see all my hot streaks right at my personal page, wt.buzz/RB. I also have a college basketball underdog 2-0 package up, 2 for 1, I call it, because I'm only charging you $19 where it normally would be $38 for these picks individually. So great stuff going on right now at WagerTalk for not only all of us, but myself, Ross Benjamin. And again, check out my hot streaks at wt.buzz/RB.
There we go. Ross Benjamin joining us. So we've got one last game to take apart. This is a sexy game as well, Ross. You'll find it on CBS. It's UConn versus Creighton. And strangely, Creighton dominates this matchup. 8-2 in their last 10 against UConn. Didn't see that coming. They're -4.5, a total of 142.5. And well, let me tell you this, Creighton's one of the hottest teams in the league right now. They've won 9 straight games, and not against Cal State, Northridge, or Pacific, Marquette, Providence, Villanova, Xavier. I mean, this is a team that is whooping teams, and they've already played UConn this year and beat them 68-63 in UConn. How are we attacking this game?
Yeah, look, Creighton's one of the hottest teams in the country, and UConn is sort of so-so right now. I mean, they're coming off a 68-62 home loss to a very good St. John's team But the Huskies are just 4-4 in their last 8 games, as Prez just touched upon. Creighton are red hot 9-0 in their last 9, and including that 68-63 win at UConn. It's not tough. It's not easy to win at UConn by any stretch of the imagination. And in that game, they held UConn to just 5 free throw attempts. So Creighton very disciplined on the defensive end. And that's no fluke because they're number 1 in the nation right now in free throw attempts allowed. So you have to earn it against Creighton. And they're coming off a 10-point home win against Marquette. And they're now 6-0 in conference home games this year, Prez, winning by 12 points per game. I'm going to take the red-hot Creighton Blue Jays over a UConn team that's a little bit underachieving right now.